All right, for this section, you might want to just grab a blank sheet of paper and work through some of these problems with me. The best suggestion I would give you to practice these problems is to write them down first. I just took a random sampling of patterns that I found. So write them down first, try to work through them, and then see if your answers check with mine. Then any mistakes, go back and try to learn what you've done wrong. So let's start here with 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 4th. This is an add the exponent situation. So you get, and again, so it's 2, 2, 2, 4 powers of 2, and then 4 more powers of 2, which gives you 2 to the 8th. Now, here I want you to notice something different because this is a common mistake people make. You really need to multiply 4 times 2, but to explain this, you have a 4 and then 2 powers of b. And then you have a 2 and then 4 powers of b. So if you write this out like this, it should be clear that you have 4 times 2, which is 8, and then 6 powers of b. But keep in mind, keep these digits out front, these terms out front, integers out front. Keep them separate from the exponents. Unless you see a parentheses, keep them separate from the exponents. We'll do some of those later. So for here, 2 times 4 is 8. Then you can add the exponents and get x to the 6th. 3 times 3 times 2 is 18. Then we have 2 powers, 4 powers, 4 powers, which gives us, 10 powers of m. I'll clean that up for you. M to the 10th. So now here we just introduce some negative exponents, but nothing crazy. So again, 4 times 3 is 12. M to the negative 3 and m to the 1 is m to the negative 2. Now you don't leave it this way because we're not really supposed to have negative powers in the exponent. So if you remember the rule, we take this and move it down to the bottom. So we leave the 12 up top because it's separate from the exponent and put the power on the bottom. Same type of thing here. And again, pause the video, write down the problems if you need to, and do them before me. 4 times 2 is 8. 3 plus negative 4 is r to the negative 1. And then this negative power goes to the denominator, 8 over r to the 1, which can also just be written 8 over r. That one's implied. So here we have 4 times 3 is 12. X to the negative 4, x to 2, and x to 2 is x to the 0. And anything to the 0 power is equal to 1, so this just becomes 12 times 1, which is 12. Take a minute to write these down, pause the video, and then work through them. So for this one, 4 times 2 is 16, power to power, we multiply. If you forgot how this rule works, just stick with your basic understanding of exponents. So we have 4p cubed, and squared means we have that 2 times. So if you go back to the previous page, 4 times 4 is 16, and then 3 plus 3 is p to the 6th. So either way, if you want to do that 4 squared is 16, then multiply the exponents, or write it out this way, whatever works for you. This is a straight multiply the exponents, p to the 12th. And this is v to the 16th, just multiply the exponents. Now, this one combines a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just going to show you that once you have these tools down, it's pretty straightforward, because the truth is, as long as you follow the rules, it doesn't matter what order you follow them in, as long as the rules are followed. So to make my life easy, I'm just going to work the top first. 2 times 2 is 4. I have an x here and x squared here, so I have x to the 3rd. I have a negative 1 plus a 4, which I have y to the 3rd. I'm going to leave the bottom exactly how it is because I'm only going to do one step at a time for you. So I'm going to go here. Now let's take care of the bottom. So let's kind of clean up the bottom. So I'm going to leave the top alone. And the bottom, I have 3 of these. So I really, if I want to look at this, I have 2x squared 3 times. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. And I have 2, 4, 6 powers of x, so x to the 6th. Now again, you could skip this step if you just know 2 to the 3rd power is 8, and x to the 2nd power cubed is multiply, so it gives you x to the 6th. So let me erase this real quick, so I have room to fill out the rest of this. I'm going to take this over to here, And let me just rewrite it so you can see what I'm doing. Now notice this first step here, if I gave you that problem, you could do that on its own, and you could do this on its own. So really what I want you to take a look at now is kind of how straightforward this is. So again, let's take a look at all this. I have 3 here and 6 there. So I can do my division property and just do 3 minus 6. So let me simplify this first. 4 over 8 is 1 over 2, or 1/2. Now I'm going to write this way when I do the canceling. And then I have this. So if you take a look at this problem, I can cancel this x, and this x. That's it. So 4 over 8 reduces to 1/2. I can cancel my x's, and I'm left with y to the third and a 1. And on the bottom, I'm left with 2 and x to the third. If you want to write it a little bit neater, y to the third over 2x to the third. Now, you could do this by working over here. So if you wanted to, you could do this way, or if you want to give another option, if you have 4x cubed, y cubed, if you just want to look at another way. So still 4 over 8 is 1/2. That's still kind of the first step. Now 3 minus 6 is x to the negative 3. And then I have just a y to the 3. And then what's the rule with the negative exponents? You just move this down to the bottom, 2x to the third. So notice you will get the same answer no matter what way you do it, and it doesn't matter what properties you use and what orders. As long as you follow all your rules and all your properties correctly, you really can't do these problems wrong. So best of luck, and let me know if you have any questions.